there was a storyline of what is happening in Cassie and the sexualization that's happening in Cassie because of her nude photos that got leaked and just the perception of others on her because she has boobs. And then I see that happening to me in real life, even though everyone watched Euphoria. I go, did you not?
I'm seeing entirely too many people running, foaming at the mouth to infantilize this woman, and we need to have a real chat about media literacy. I want you to think about that video. I want you to think about the way that she presented herself, what she wore, the style of her hair, the way that she articulated her words. I then want you to compare that to the soap commercial. I want you to compare that to the latest American Eagle advertisement. What people are seeming to fail to grasp about the concept of celebrity is that there is a fundamental difference between the individual that is Sydney Sweeney, that is Taylor Swift, that is Beyonce, that is anyone that you know that has reached a certain level of fame, and that person as a legitimate corporation, as a brand, as a marketable concept. So I'm gonna break this down in really, really simple and easy to understand terms. An individual, a person, enters an industry, arguably one of the most evil, diabolical industries that we have running on this planet. Look at any documentary, look at any relationship that child stars have with their own humanity, with life itself, right? We see the collateral damage of it all over the moral bankruptcy as far as the eye can see. And they link up with a team of people, an agent, a handler, a marketer, a marketing team, a stylist, whatever the case may be. And this individual and this entire cohort of people put their heads together with all their many, many degrees and their collective hundreds of years of experience in this industry to build a person that is designed to solicit your affection and thereby solicit your money. In this way, pretty much any person that rises to a legitimate form of fame is in some way an industry plant. There was a person that was plucked from obscurity, packaged and productized, and then planted in front of you. This is the point. A team of people who understand trends, who predict trends, who actually play a hand in subtly creating trends, analyze your behavior, my behavior, and try to construct a concept that will solicit your attention, your money, and create lots of money for all of them collectively. This is not the story of some woe-begone failed actress randomly shaking trees trying to figure out who she is. This is a pivot, and one of many pivots that this industrialized version of a human, a concept of a human, has attempted in order to get a bag for every single person that's a part of this process. Which means there is a conscious engagement with manipulation. There is a conscious understanding of what people are looking for, what they're attracted to, and sometimes it flops. Now, in the past, this worked differently because now we have the concept of a digital footprint, which means that consumers of media, consumers of these people as a brand and as a branding concept, are able to essentially track these pivots in a much more detailed way, right? We can see the difference very clearly between who someone was in 2022 versus who they are now. We're able to identify what feels like inauthenticity easier because it's documented, all of these attempts at iteration and change. These are calculated, constructed decisions. This is a woman who is attempting to make a career by garnering affection from the audience that will pay her the most. As to what her personal or individual values are, I'm not particularly interested because you can see very clearly she at least has a rudimentary understanding of feminism. You can see very clearly she has more than a rudimentary understanding of how objectification and over-sexualization functions in the industry that she has chosen as her career path. And she is acutely aware of how this has affected her as a human, and yet has still made conscious choices to put all of that information aside to chase a bag, to chase arguably one of the most predatory, disgusting, reprehensible demographics of people in America. This wasn't an oops. This was never an oops. And I can talk a lot about things that I think she should have done if she wanted to stay and retain her image as that person in the video that I think she failed to do. For example, not letting women, the demographic of women, ever get a true sense of who she is. But that's all beside the point. She is carefully constructing an identity that she's intending to profit off of, and by proxy have every single other person that has constructed the capital S Sydney Sweeney. It's a cash grab, and it always will be. We're not watching a person develop. We're not watching a person make mistakes. We're not watching an individual on their journey as an artist. We're watching a brand crash, burn, redefine, and refine until it accesses the audience that's gonna pay out. I need desperately for people to stop falling for this, for you to stop making besties out of corporate brands, out of celebrities. I need you to stop buying this song and dance, because all it does is have you foaming at the mouth to defend the elite on the internet while they line their wallet with your cash and the cash made by your attention.